You're sitting here right now, but are you really here? Or is part of you already somewhere else, racing toward the argument you need to have, the email you didn't send, the thing that might go wrong tomorrow? Feel it. That tightness in your chest, that hum beneath your thoughts, that quiet voice that never stops whispering, not enough, not safe, not yet. This is the habit energy of worry, and it's killing your aliveness. Not dramatically, not all at once, just slowly, steadily, like a river wearing down stone. The question isn't whether you worry. The question is, do you still remember how to rest? There's a story I need to tell you. After Nelson Mandela was released from prison, after 27 years of captivity, after becoming a symbol of resilience to the entire world, a journalist asked him what he most wanted to do. His answer wasn't what anyone expected. Not lead my country, not heal my people. He said, "What I most want to do is simply sit and do nothing." He said, "Since the moment I was freed, I have not had the opportunity to sit and do nothing." Let that land. A man who survived nearly 3 decades in a cell knew something most of us have forgotten. Rest is not a luxury. Rest is survival. He couldn't afford to do it, but he knew its value. Today, we simply invite ourselves to pause, to settle into this breath, this moment, and recognize the medicine that rest offers. This contemplation, rooted in the teachings of Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, offers a quiet space to understand how to dissolve the habit energy of worry and return to our natural state of peace. Not someday. Now. Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese monk who spent his life teaching mindfulness to a world addicted to speed, once said something that still haunts me. Many people around us live their daily lives, but they are not truly alive. They are always running. They are not capable of dwelling in the present moment and touching the wonders of life that are available in the here and now. Not truly alive. That's not poetry. That's diagnosis. Close your eyes for a moment. Think about yesterday. Can you remember 3 moments where you were fully present? Where you weren't planning, replaying, or bracing for impact? If you can't, you're not alone. Most of us are sleepwalking through our own lives. Not because we're weak, because we've been trained, conditioned, to believe that worry is responsible, that anxiety is preparedness, that rest is laziness. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Worry doesn't solve anything. It just exhausts you before the problem even arrives. Let me tell you how this works. Thich Nhat Hanh teaches that worry is not a personality trait. It's not who you are. It's habit energy. Think of it like this. At first, worry was just a trickle, a small stream of concern. But every time you gave it attention, every time you rehearsed the worst-case scenario, every time you lay awake at 3 a.m. spinning, you deepened the riverbed. You practiced worry, and now it flows on its own, automatic, unconscious, a program running in the background, draining your battery even when you don't notice. But here's what changes everything. If you learned to worry, you can learn to rest, not by forcing it, not by fighting it, by recognizing it. Your body already knows how to heal. Think about the last time you cut your finger. You didn't panic. You cleaned it, maybe put on a bandage, and then you trusted. You trusted that your skin would close, that your blood would clot, that your body had intelligence you didn't need to micromanage. That's not metaphor. That's biology. Your body knows how to repair itself, but you have to give it the conditions to do so. Animals understand this instinctively. When a deer is wounded in the forest, deeply, dangerously wounded, it doesn't keep running. It doesn't push through. It doesn't check the weather or make a plan. It finds a place, a quiet clearing, soft moss, dappled shade, and it lies down. For days, it doesn't think about food, doesn't think about the herd, doesn't think about predators. It just rests. There's a wisdom in that, a knowing older than thought. The deer trusts the forest to hold it, trusts its own body to remember how to mend. We've lost that. Somewhere along the way, we stopped trusting our own capacity to heal. We override, we caffeinate, we push through exhaustion like it's a virtue. We work our bodies too hard. We feed our minds too much noise. We don't rest. We collapse. And collapse is not rest. Now here's the part most people miss. Your mind has the same capacity to heal as your body. There are zones of pain in your consciousness, old wounds, undigested grief, anxiety that loops like a broken record. But your consciousness has intelligence. It has the power to metabolize suffering if you let it rest. The problem is, we don't. Every day we bring in more toxins, more worry, more comparison, more scrolling, more input without output. We force our minds to work 18 hours a day. We don't give them permission to be still. And then we wonder why we can't think clearly, why we can't feel peace, why rest feels impossible. It's not that rest is impossible, it's that we've forgotten how. Let your shoulders drop. Thich Nhat Hanh said, "The Buddha said that it is possible to live happily in the present moment." That teaching of the Buddha does not seem to be very well known by people. Live happily, not perfectly, not without pain, but happily, even when there's suffering inside you. How? The Buddha offered an image. If you throw a stone into a river, it sinks. But if you have a boat, you can carry hundreds of pounds of stones. Grief, fear, regret, loss, and still float. The stones don't disappear, but the boat holds you. And that boat is not made of wood. It's made of mindfulness. It's made of practice. It's made of the choice, repeated again and again, to return to the present moment. Not once, not as a grand spiritual event, but in the small, ordinary moments of your life. Drinking water, walking to your car, washing your hands. These are not trivial acts. These are the planks of the boat. Let me give you something you can do right now. Wherever you are sitting, standing, lying down, allow yourself to settle. Not rigid, not collapsed, just upright, head in line with your spine, like a mountain, dignified, at ease. Now smile. Yes, actually smile, even faintly, even if it feels strange. When you smile, hundreds of tiny muscles in your face release. Tension you didn't know you were holding begins to dissolve. It's not fake. It's not positive thinking. It's physiology. Now let your shoulders drop. Let your hands rest in your lap, palms open or closed, whatever feels natural. You don't need to do anything right now. Just sit and notice you are alive. Your heart is beating without you telling it to. Your lungs are breathing. Blood is moving through your veins. This ordinary miracle is happening right now, but you can't touch it if you're already in tomorrow. You can't feel it if worry is louder than your own heartbeat. So we practice. Breathe in, I am alive. Breathe out, I am here. Again, Breathe in, I am alive. Breathe out, I am here. One more time. This is not a metaphor. You are actually here. And that is not nothing. Now let's talk about how to work with worry when it rises, because it will rise. Here's the practice Thich Nhat Hanh teaches. First, recognize it. When you feel that familiar tightness in your chest, that spiral starting in your mind, pause. Place one hand on your heart. Say internally, "Hello, worry. I see you." Not as an enemy, not as proof that you're broken. As an old friend, a scared child, a part of you that's trying to protect you, but doesn't know how anymore. Second, embrace it. Don't push it away. Don't shame yourself for feeling it. Just breathe into it. Say, "I'm here for you. You don't have to carry this alone." This is not weakness. This is medicine. Most of us have spent our whole lives fighting worry, tensing against it, resisting it, hating ourselves for it. But fighting creates more tension. Embracing creates space. Third, smile to it. Smile the way you'd smile at a frightened animal. Gently, without demand. When you smile to your worry, something shifts. It loses its grip. It softens. And in that softening, the door to healing opens. Let that settle. You don't need a monastery to do this. You don't need 10 years of meditation or a special cushion or a guru. You can practice this while drinking your morning coffee. Drink it slowly. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Notice the steam rising. Taste the first sip. That's mindfulness. You can practice this while walking to your car. Feel your feet on the ground. Left foot, right foot, the texture of the pavement, the air on your skin. That's mindfulness. You can practice this while speaking to someone you love. Listen, not planning your response, not half present, but truly hearing them, seeing them. That's mindfulness. These small acts are not small. They are the medicine. They are how you grow the seed of awareness inside you until it becomes a tree strong enough to shelter you when the storms come. But here's the truth. Most spiritual teachings gloss over. You cannot do this alone. Thich Nhat Hanh speaks constantly about Sangha, the community of practice. And this isn't optional. It's essential. Imagine a forest. One tree, standing alone in a field, falls easily when the wind comes. Its roots can't go deep enough. It has no protection. But in a forest, the trees grow together. Their roots intertwine beneath the soil. They share water. They share nutrients. They hold each other upright. When the storm comes, the forest stands. That's Sangha. When you're surrounded by people who are also choosing presence, who are also learning to rest, who are also releasing the habit energy of worry, you become stronger. Their mindfulness supports yours. Your mindfulness supports theirs. Together, you build a boat big enough to carry everyone. This is why scrolling alone at 2 a.m. feels so heavy. This is why isolation magnifies anxiety. You were designed for community, for witness, for shared practice. Find even one person, someone who also wants to stop running, someone who values rest. Practice together, even in silence, even for 5 minutes. That is Sangha. Let me ask you something, and don't rush past it. When was the last time you truly rested? Not collapsed in exhaustion, not numbed out in front of a screen, but rested, with awareness, with trust, with the deep knowing that you didn't need to be anywhere else or anyone else. If you can't remember, that's okay. Today can be the beginning. There's a phrase in Sanskrit, Dusta Dharma Sukha Vihara. It means dwelling happily in the present moment. Not someday, not when you've fixed everything, not when you've earned it, now. The Buddha taught that even if you have pain inside you, even if there are unresolved things, even if life is messy and uncertain, you can still dwell in happiness, not because you've escaped suffering, but because you've learned to rest in the midst of it. You've learned to stop feeding the worry. You've learned to come home to your breath. And here's what Thich Nhat Hanh teaches us. Sitting meditation is not becoming someone or something different. It is not a struggle. You simply enjoy your sitting. Sit and become aware that you are there, alive. Being alive is already a miracle. And if you can touch the fact that you are there, alive, that is already enlightenment. Not enlightenment as some mystical, distant state. Enlightenment as this, as the simple, radical act of touching your own aliveness, of being present to the miracle that you exist at all. So, here's what I invite you to try, not as homework, but as experiment. Choose one daily activity this week. Just one. Brushing your teeth, drinking your tea, putting on your shoes, and do it with full attention. Not perfectly, not forever, just once a day. Notice the sensations, the temperature, the movements. Notice what happens. Does the worry soften, even for a breath? Does rest become a little more possible? And if it doesn't, that's okay too. You're planting seeds. Trust the process. Nelson Mandela knew, after 27 years of struggle, after becoming a living symbol of endurance, he knew rest is not weakness. Rest is freedom. The habit energy of worry is strong, but your capacity to rest is stronger. You just forgot. Today, we remember. Breathe in. Breathe out. Before you return to your day, take one more breath with me. In, out. Thank yourself for stopping, for listening, for being willing to rest in a world that profits from your exhaustion. That takes courage. If this teaching touched something in you, I invite you to stay with us on this quiet journey. Share this with someone who's tired of running. And in the comments, tell me, what is one small way you can practice rest today? Not tomorrow, not when things calm down. Today, let's build this boat together. You're already here. You always were.